Welcome to Introduction to QuickBooks. This is our agenda for tonight. I'm going to show you real quickly how to create an account if you would like to, or how to use a 30-day free trial. Then we're going to look at accounts and settings. I'm going to show you how to make a bank deposit. We're going to go into sales. We're going to look at invoices, bills, paying bills, and adding a training invoice. So what I've done is I went ahead and just set up a mock business for our webinar for tonight, and I called it iTech. And if I come up here and if I click on iTech, it takes me to this area where I can make adjustments to it. So you can see that I have imported a picture. If I want to adjust that, I can simply click on the plus sign. I can put in my company name. And then as I scroll down, you have the ability to change the company email or the company address. So if I want to go in here, initially my iTech business was in Eastern Iowa. So let's just say that I want to change that to a local area here in Papillion. So I'm just going to put in 201 Mathis Drive. And I can change that to the city of Papillion. And my state is now going to be Nebraska. And we'll go ahead and change the zip code. So you can very easily go into the different account settings and make adjustments as needed. Once you've done that, you're going to want to go ahead and click on Save. It will save those settings, and we can go ahead and click on the back arrow, and it will take me back to my dashboard. I'm going to flip over here to another screen. We just shared a link with you, and this will allow you to go in and either obtain a QuickBooks account, or if you want to, if you don't currently have QuickBooks, you can click on try it free, and that is a 30-day limit on that. And then after that, if you want to go in and buy, you can purchase monthly. You can see that they've got different options for you. You've got a simple start, essentials, plus, advanced, and self-employed, which doesn't look like it's showing on the screen, but that is also an option in QuickBooks. So for my iTech company, originally I kept all of my information. I did all of my invoices, kept all of my information in Excel. But before we go to that, I'm going to go ahead and go to New, and you can see you've got all kinds of different options here. You've got customers, vendors, employees, and other. And the first thing I want to do is I want to go into bank deposit, because when you first open up a business, obviously you're going to have some cash. So when I go to bank deposit, I'm simply going to click on the down arrow, and I'm going to select uncategorized asset. And then when I go down below, you have the option to fill in received from, account, description, payment, and so on. So received from, I'm just going to leave blank because this is personal money that I'm putting in to start the business. And I'm going to flip over to account. And underneath account, I'm going to classify this as uncategorized income. And then in my description, I'm simply going to put in startup money. And the payment method is going to be cash. And then I can come over And I'm just going to say that maybe our startup is $5,000. So I can put in that 5,000 and save that. So let's go back and do that again. Now I'm going to go to account and uncategorized income. Description is just going to be my startup money. Payment method is cash, and I'm just going to put in 5,000. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And then I'm going to go back to my dashboard. And sometimes you have to refresh the screen. Currently, it's not showing that I have any cash, so I'm going to go ahead and just refresh my screen. And now you can see on my dashboard where I have $5,000 available to utilize. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my options, and I'm going to go into sales because, as I said earlier, previous to using QuickBooks, I used Excel. So I've got a lot of information that is in Excel that I can import into QuickBooks very easily. So I'm just going to come over here to sales and click on products and services. And when I do that, I can come over here to the upper right-hand corner and go to new, and I'm going to select import. And from import, it's going to allow me to browse out and select the file that I'd like to upload. So I've got import files. I'm just going to go ahead and double click on that. And then I'm going to come down to the lower right-hand corner and click on next. And you can see that Excel and QuickBooks are talking to one another. So in my Excel document, I had titles of product service name, the SKU numbers, the sales description, your sale price. I also had quantity on hand, and those were the only matches that it made, which is just fine because that's all that was in my Excel document. When I click on next, it's going to tell me that it has now uploaded 9 items that I sell from the iTech business. So I've got multiple flash drives in here, a keyboard, a mouse, and a couple of different monitors. It also imported the description, as I said. It imported the sales price, the sale price, and when it was imported. So I'm just going to come down here and complete this by clicking on import. And I now successfully imported those products and services. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the back arrow, and I'm going to go back to my dashboard. And from the dashboard, I am now going to go to new, and we're going to create our first invoice. So I'm just going to go to new, and underneath customers, you have the option to create an invoice. So the first thing that it wants me to do for the invoice is to select the customer. Now, if you have these in another file like Excel, you can also import those. But I also wanted to share with you how to create new customers. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on new. And it wants me to enter the customer's name. So I'll just go ahead and put in the customer's name. Now note that right below that you see details. So if I want to put more information in about this particular customer, I'm simply going to click on details, and it will take me to this screen where I can enter more information. So obviously I have the name of my customer, George Hamilton. If I want to go to a company, I can type in the company that he is associated with. So maybe we'll just say Technology Inc. At that point in time, it does try to give you a list of matches for that particular company name. Since I just made that up, I'm going to ignore that for now. And then we can put in a billing address. So I'm just going to say box 265. Oops. Iron River, Michigan, and the zip code. Oh, I'm sorry. So then we'll go down here and type in Iron River and Michigan, and now the zip code. And that is in the United States. Okay, and then if I scroll over, it gives me the option to put in an email address for that particular customer. So I'm just going to go ahead and add in a mock email. And a phone number. And then, you can put in mobile, you can put in fax, you could, if they have a website, you can import that. When you're done filling in all of this information, you're simply going to click on save. And note that it fills in all of these boxes for you automatically. So as soon as you go in and select your customer, it's going to fill in that data for you. Okay, and then it's going to ask how they're going to pay, and I'm just going to put a check mark in credit card. And now we're ready to see what they want to order. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select a service date, which will select April 20th, and the product. Now remember, a little bit ago, we imported all of these products that I sell at iTech, and those populate when you click on the product or service. So I can go ahead and put in, let's say that he wants to order some flash drives. It automatically populates the description. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say that he wants 10 different flash drives, or the 16 gigabyte. If he continues to order more product from you, you can go ahead and put in the date again, select another product. Perhaps he also wants 10 keyboards, so I'll go ahead and select keyboards, change this quantity to 10, and then when I click outside of it, it automatically it calculates the amount. You'll also note that as you add different products, it adds another line for you. So I'm going to go ahead and put in one more thing in his order. And maybe this time he wants some 40-inch monitors. So I'm going to go ahead and change that to 10. And when I click outside of it, it gives me the price. Now it gives me the total, $1,559, and the balance due However, we need to add in the sales tax. So I'm just going to click on sales tax. And when I do that, it already knows that I'm in Papillion, Nebraska. So I'm going to tell it to set up automatic sales tax. So depending on what state you're in, it's going to retrieve that information for you. And we're just going to save and continue. And then when it's populated that, I'm going to click on close. And as I scroll down, it has now added $116.99 for sales tax. Now, this person isn't a real customer, so I'm just going to go ahead and click on save. And then I'm going to click on the back arrow to go back to my dashboard. Let's say that some information for that particular customer has changed. So to edit that, I'm going to come over here to sales. I'm going to go to customers. And I'm going to put a check mark next to George Hamilton and click on his name, which is a link, and I can come up here and I can edit that information. So let's say that he now has a mobile phone, so I can go ahead and insert that information very easily and click on save. Okay, I'm going to go back up to new, and this time I'm going to go to bills. And in my bills, I don't have any vendors at this point in time. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on add new. And maybe I order from a place called Tech Warehouse. So again, you can see a pattern here. What I'm going to do is when I type in Tech Warehouse, I'm then going to click on details, and it will allow me to input that information. So perhaps the address is 6677 45th Avenue, and this is in Chicago. Oops. And I don't have any idea about the zip, so I'm just going to put a mock one in. And obviously this is still in the United States. You can put in phone numbers, email addresses. If Tech Warehouse has just a generic email address, you can put that in there. We'll go ahead and input a phone number. And a website. Once you're done with that, you can go ahead and click on save. And it will take me back out. Once again, it auto-populated that information. At this point, you can go to terms, and I'm just going to add some new terms in. Terms meaning when is the bill expected to be paid. So I'm going to put in a couple of different options here. I'm going to put in 15 days. Click on save. Oops. All right, for some reason it doesn't like that. Let me start over. So I'm going to go back to terms and click on add new. Enter 15 days. There we go. Okay, so right now I put in 15 days, so it knows that it is April 20th, and it says that the due date for the bill is going to be May 5th. I'm obviously going to want a few more options in there, so I'm going to go ahead and put in 30 days, and then down below I'll just put in 30, and it will recalculate that as well. So it's now telling me that that bill is due on May 20th. If you want, you have some other options in here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go down to day of the month, and I'm just going to say that it's due on the first day of the month. Put a name in and click on save. So now I have 3 different options. I have 15 days, 30 days, and first day of the month. And as you can see, when I go through those, it is automatically calculating when those bills are due. Okay, then I'm going to come down to category, and I'm going to click on the down arrow. Now, QuickBooks has a lot of different options built in for you. So maybe this is just office expense, and description, I'm just going to put in new tech order. And the amount that we owe the tech warehouse is $897. Okay, so that is how you would add in a particular bill. I'm going to go ahead and click on save. And save and close. Okay, so let's say that you need to pay some bills. So I'm going to go up here to new. And underneath vendors, I'm going to click on pay bills. The only bill that we have in there is the tech warehouse. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. Now, let's say that you're running a little short on cash. So you don't want to pay the entire amount. When you put the check mark in, it's going to prompt you to pay the entire amount. However, you can come in and you can change that. Let's say that you only want to send them $500. You can certainly do that, but it is going to automatically populate the amount due. So I'm going to go ahead and click on save. Oh, up at the top, please choose payment type. So now up at the top, before I can pay my bills, I have to add how I'm going to pay them. So I'm going to click on the down arrow, and I'm going to change this to checking account. And then I can go ahead and click on save and close. And it prompts you to save and print at that point in time, which we're not going to print anything right now. And I'm just going to click on the back arrow to go back to my dashboard. So now you can see how my dashboard has changed. It has the invoices for $16.77, expenses in there, and so on. And that updates automatically. So if you don't want all of this to show on your dashboard, perhaps you are working with people and you don't want them to know this private information, you can come up here on privacy and just click on that button, and it will hide all that information in your dashboard. So you can very easily turn that on and off. Okay, let's go back to new, and I'm going to go back to invoice at this point in time. So last time we selected an invoice, we used items that were uploaded into QuickBooks from Excel. This time I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a new customer. So I'm just going to add in Pat Hurt. I don't necessarily have to put in all of the details. If you want to, you certainly can. Down below that, you may notice that you can connect to your Gmail account. Now, if you click on this, if your customers are currently in your Gmail system, it will automatically bring up their email address and other important data. So you can connect to your Gmail account if you want to, saving you some time. For right now, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to click on Save. We're going to want to put in an email address for Pat Hurt. And how he is going to be paying, which will be a credit card. And then we'll automatically put in the terms. Let's just say first of the month, that will be due. So for this particular invoice, I'm going to say that it took place again today, but this time I'm going to put in a new item. So at the very top, if I click on Add New, it will populate the window over here on the right. So you can say you're adding new items to your inventory, to your non-inventory, or services that you provide. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say that this is a service. And the service is going to be online training. And then I'm going to select a category. And that again is going to be online training. And I'm going to go ahead and click on Save. And then if I scroll down, you can see that it wants me to put in a sales price. So let's say that the online training is $30 per hour. And then we're going to select the income account. So you can select from any one of these, or again, you can click on Add New. And I'm just going to put in training. Save and close, and then save and close again. Okay, and the quantity, I'm going to go ahead and change that because he bought 3 hours of online training. But note that it adds in sales tax, and that is not taxable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click see the math. And then I'm going to scroll down. And click on override this amount. And I'm just going to put a 0 in there. And click on confirm. And close. Oops. and select item is not taxable and click on confirm and then close, and you can see that it has now taken those taxes off of the invoice. I'm going to go ahead and save that again. That invoice is now saved. And when I go back, you can see that it has updated my dashboard as well. So the dashboard's pretty interesting. It gives you a lot of statistical data. You can look at your expenses for this month, for the quarter, for the year, for the last month. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on this month, which is not going to change any because, like I said, this is just a mock business that I set up. So last quarter, our expenses were 0 because the business didn't exist. We literally just started on this little venture today. Bank accounts, you can see that we have money in there. Again, for your profit, you have those same options. You can select from last 30 days, this month, this quarter, and so on. Same thing with sales. So you can very quickly see where you are and create graphs. It automatically creates graphs for you, so you can utilize those in a presentation if you'd like to. Okay. So some of the other options that are in here that you need to pay a little bit more for that I think are very nice is payroll. And if I were to go to click on that in the free version or the 30-day trial version, it doesn't give you the option to input payroll. But if I go in and click on payroll, it will take me to that link and allow me to upgrade my QuickBooks. So depending on what you're looking for, you can go in and add as much or as little as you want to. So Pat, I see your question. How do you set up discounts for clients? I have done that, but it's been a while. Let me go to sales and to customers and see if it is in here. Well, unfortunately, I'm not seeing it right off the get-go, but I know that that is definitely a possibility in QuickBooks. Let me go back to the dashboard. And I'm going to click on See All Activity, and that, once again, that updates my dashboard. All right, folks, my email address, let me go ahead and share that with you because, Pat, I want to get back to you on your question. Here's my email address. It's juliehamiltondort65@gmail.com. Pat, if you want to send me a quick email with that question so that I have your contact information, that would be great. I will definitely get back to you yet tonight. If you have any questions going forward, feel free to utilize my email. Thanks for attending, and have a great night. Stay safe and stay healthy, folks.